Hello everyone, welcome to my channel Beyond the Sewing Room. I'm Diane. So today I'm going to share another one of my ongoing remake projects. So a couple of years ago, you've probably seen this video before where I made a coat from some fabric that my friend gave me, and then I lined it, and the pattern wasn't lined, but I lined the coat and I did a video on how to line an unlined coat. So quite a few people like this, and I will share a link to it if you've not seen this video before. But the thing is, I've had the coat in my possession now for a couple of winters, and what I did was I made panels for the shoulders in faux leather and also the belt and an inside pocket. Now the inside pocket is staying, but what I've found is the panels on the shoulder on this particular coat, with them being faux leather and lined, and then the coat being a different fabric, it makes it very thick here at the top and also under where the collar flips back. So I have been wearing it, but I found that it's not one that I reach for a lot in the colder months, mainly because I fiddle with the panels. I feel like they're bunching up, even though I've put some stitches underneath to keep them flat. I feel like they don't lie in the same way that they did on my other coat. So I've made this coat before in a blue wool, and because I've used the same fabric on the coat and on the flaps, storm flaps at the front, it seems to lie differently. And this faux leather, with it being a little bit stiffer, I don't know, it just irritates me. And then I did a belt, and the belt on my other coat has a proper sort of loop that it goes through, and on this one I did sort of D-rings. And also I'm not a wild fan of the belt that I did for it. So you find these things as you go along, you find these things out as you wear things more and more. So I love the coat, I love the colour, I love the style, but there's a couple of things that were annoying me. So, as I've been doing all year, making sure that everything that lives in my house and takes up space, and also things I've spent time and money on, I make sure that I get the best out of them. So what I've been doing is anything that I'm not entirely happy with, I've been identifying what it is and then changing that so that I'm not getting rid of it, I'm just changing into a better version of what it was. So while I did like the look of this coat, and a lot of you probably did like these details, I just found that wearing it, it wasn't great. It wasn't my favourite, let's put it that way. So that meant it didn't get worn that often. So what I've done this last couple of days is I've had a good look at it, I've unpicked certain bits, I've taken away the flaps from the shoulder, I've reattached the collar is lying so much better now without the flaps underneath. I like it better without those flaps at the top as well, to be honest, because you see more of the gorgeous fabric and you haven't got that detracting away from it. And also with the belt gone, what else I've done, I'll show you. I'm going to pop it here at the side of me and have a little talk about it, and then I'll show it on. And the last thing that I've got to do is to add some buttons and buttonholes at the front now. And the reason I haven't done that already is because I've only got one that goes with it, and I want to make sure that the buttons do it justice. So I'm going to have a look round before I finish off the buttons. I can wear it without, but I want to be able to fasten it up really, don't I? So I'll show you what I've done. So we're probably getting a little bit of a glare now because I've got something so big at the side of me and it's affecting the lighting, but here it is without the flaps on. So I do love this fabric, so it's a sort of beigey heather colour. You seem to see more of the sort of lilac-y heather colour. Now that I've taken those panels away, I think they really did detract from the fabric, and I really do love the colours on it. Now this was a piece of fabric that a friend of mine bought and then didn't use, so she very kindly gifted it to me and said she knew I'd use it, and I knew I would because it's gorgeous. So as I said, I love the coat, but a few things were annoying me. So I've taken off the belt loops at the side, taken away the belt, and because I did that, I wanted to make sure that it still had some shape. So I've shaped it in, can you see here? So I opened up the lining on the inside on one side, and I've shaped it so that it goes into the waist and comes back out just above the pocket here. So that's what I've done at the front, and then on the back I've added another detail. So at the back I've added this little sort of faux belt piece here, and I used some of the belt. So this was the belt that I made to go with this coat. Had D-rings at the end and they threaded through, and it was the faux leather on one side and the sort of wool fabric on the other. So I just chopped off some of the end of that, hemmed it, and I've used it here. I've then pleated in the back. I tried it on, had a look, see how much could go into the back, because it is a sort of oversized coat and I wanted it a bit more shape now that it's not having a belt around the middle. I've stitched this one on just through the wool layers, not through the lining. And then I've added these two sort of faux wood effect buttons at the back. Now it would have been great if I'd have had two large ones for the front to go with these, but I've only got one. So I could order some more, but I'm now thinking, will I keep these or shall I get something that picks out that heather colour? So these are on there for now, just to get the effect. But yeah, if I find something I like better, I may well change those, because these were just ones I had in my stash. So that's what we've got going on there, and it's shaped in again at this side. And then once that's fastened at the front, it did used to just fold over and have the belt round. I'm thinking, do I go for 4 so it's sort of double-breasted? Sort of 2 there and 2 there? Or do I just do 2 down the front, or 1 there and 1 there? So I'm undecided on the button situation. I did have one of the large ones in the wood effect. So my other thought was, if I can't decide on any that are this sort of lavender colour, heather colour, I may go for just getting another one to go with that. Or 2, or 3, or 4. I think 4 might be too much actually. It does fold over at the front. I could just do 2 down the front like that. I think 2 would be plenty. I don't want to do... I'd rather have larger buttons than a couple, I think, than lots. Because I'll probably always be wearing a scarf under this in the winter anyway. I have done in the past, and I do with all my other winter coats. So that's where I've got to so far. So I will show it you on now so you can get the effect. As I said, I've still got to do the buttonholes and buttons, so I'll show you that another day. So here it is on. As I said, you will have seen it before, but I think it does look very different now that those panels have gone. And as you can see, once it's fastened, when I've decided what buttons I'm having, it's got a bit of shape at the side, so it doesn't really need to be belted around it because it's got that shape. It goes in at the back where I've added that faux belt at the back. And it just needs to be buttoned here. But I do like it that it's a bit more shaped. And I've still got this pocket that was made out of the... and you know something else I'm thinking, because I really do like details on things. Where I joined my lining here all the way around, thinking of doing a really pretty bias tape like I did on my red cardigan, just to finish the space between the main fabric and the satin on the inside, something with a little floral on it, maybe a bias tape with floral on it all the way around, just to finish that off on the inside. And then I may even decide to put something over that, but I think I'll leave the pocket just as it is. It's just the right size for my phone anyway. So I'm just loving this so much more now, and I just need to get those buttons sourced. So do let me know what you think. I'll update you when I've decided what I'm doing with the front, but other than that, it's finished. And some of you may well think, well, you went to all that trouble of adding in the panels and making the belt and everything. Well, this is what we can do when we sew, isn't it? We can decide, do we like these things? And if not, change them, because if I'm not going to wear it much in that state that it was in its original condition, then there's not much point in it sitting in my wardrobe. So I would rather change it, have it more to my taste and comfort when I'm wearing it, and then just wear it for many years. So I do that with lots of things. Sometimes you make things and you love them, and sometimes you don't, or sometimes you just wear them for a short while. But I don't like to just get rid of things. I like to change them and make them up again if I can. So I hope you all do the same, and let me know anything that you've been remaking. Thank you so much for watching today. Bye for now.